everyone, thank you so much for coming back to my video. Today we're gonna do a little bit of different video, very personal video, something that actually happened to me. So hopefully you've read the disclaimer. I'm definitely not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor or any kind of medical staff. If you do have questions about your own body or you're going through something like this, definitely reach out and talk to a medical professional. For you who read the title, you can see, yes, I was definitely pregnant for one day. So can someone truly be pregnant for one day? Well, I definitely was. So let's talk. Eyes closed, like we're dreaming even when we're not. Because I'm a person who is trying to conceive, or you'll see it amongst the community as TTC, I constantly am checking pregnancy. Every cycle, I'm trying for pregnancy and I'm actually checking and, using pregnancy tests and also ovulation sticks to check and monitor my fertility. The reason why I want to catch a pregnancy early is so that I can take the necessary measures to take care of my body, not just before, but while I know that I'm pregnant. So I tend to test very, very early. I would say back in November, it was back in November. I was late. I was about 2 days late, I believe. And I decided, okay, let me just test, see what's going on. So I tested, and as you can imagine, I was very surprised when I saw a pregnant line. So I'm gonna show you all the line progressions later, but I saw a positive pregnancy line, and you can imagine I was very excited because this is actually what I wanted, The next day I continued to test. So the next day I woke up, I tested again. However, this time the line is getting lighter. When you're pregnant and you're testing every day or every 2 days, you should see the line either maintaining its same strength or getting a little bit darker. But instead, my line was getting lighter. So I knew it was a problem right away. And then I continued to test one more day after that. And actually the line was so faint, you couldn't even see it. And then my period came. Let me show you the picture so you can see for yourself. How can this be? How can someone be pregnant for one day? Well, there is something called chemical pregnancy. According to Google, and I'm gonna read it here, it says a chemical pregnancy is a very, very early miscarriage. This happens within the first 5 weeks of pregnancy. An embryo forms, which is why you can see a positive pregnancy line, because the pregnancy hormone is actually present. And the embryo may have even embedded into your uterus, hence implantation. But then it stops developing right away. Chemical pregnancies occur so early that so many people miscarry and don't even realize. They just think, oh, their period was late. Well, I actually went to the doctor a few days later and just let them know what was going on. And of course, by the time they tested my blood and by the time they did, some kind of test, there was nothing to see. There was nothing there because the pregnancy, whatever was, of the pregnancy was already passed out. I can start to maybe explain how disappointed I was, because like I said, me and my husband, we are trying for a baby. I was very disappointed, but actually for a second, it's just it was only one day, so I didn't really have time to process anything. So yes, chemical pregnancies are so disappointed, especially for women who maybe they've had a chemical pregnancy after maybe days of finding out that they're pregnant, or even weeks of finding out that they're pregnant. But me, it was literally one day. As you can see, the lines just completely disappear. I didn't have time to process or even feel anything, Why does chemical pregnancies happen? It's thought that chemical pregnancies happen for the same reason that other miscarriages happen. It's a chromosomal problem with the developing baby. And these problems, these chromosomal things, they're usually just one-off situations. So a lot of people, when they have miscarriages, they think that they will possibly never be able to conceive, never be able to have a baby. That's quite untrue unless you have a more serious fertility issue. Usually with chemical pregnancies, it's just the, you know, the embryo just stopped developing because just something went wrong, you know. So the fact that it's a one-off problem means that it's not going to be a reoccurring thing. It's not something that's, you know, going to keep on happening, and that people who actually want to have a baby, you know, that they're never gonna get to have a baby. That's not true at all. The thing is about like conception, it's so amazing. If you ever have a chance to like watch a video on YouTube about how conception happens, there's so many things that can go wrong at that moment, and it's like it's really a miracle. And also the body does its job. Like the body is set to make the odds of living the best odds of living. So if there's any defect right away or any kind of chromosomal issues that's going to cause some kind of problems later on, automatically it stops developing, and it's just God's like way, you know. It's so hurtful, but at the same time it's also allowing that when there is a baby there, when there is, you know, something developing, that it's truly a healthy baby that's going to live for a long time. You know, I told you that I took an early detection test. So for a long time in the past, early detection tests didn't exist at all. So women didn't know when they were having chemical pregnancies. There was no way for you to even catch these things or even know that you were having a chemical pregnancy. Now, with the new inventions of being able to catch pregnancies earlier and earlier, we can see that people have been catching chemical pregnancies more often. So my question to you who are watching is, have you ever been late on your period and then all of a sudden you just get your period? And sometimes when you get your period, it's even more heavier than it's supposed to be. A lot of times, who knows? Who knows? You didn't test, so you don't know for sure, but it could have been a chemical pregnancy. It could have been your body trying to conceive, trying to make a baby at that time. But it just, you know, it just stopped developing. Think about that next time you're late. Is it better to know, or is it better not to know that you've had a pregnancy loss even so early? So for me, it can go both ways. Because I've had loss, I'm kind of like, I wouldn't say understanding of the process, but because I've had losses before, I can understand why these things are happening. And also because of my faith, I can go through these things and be very understanding of it, and quite faithful and understanding like God's will and everything, you know. So but for some people, they would rather just not know. Just don't even tell me that I've had a loss, because it's going to do something to my mind, which I definitely understand as well. I just want to reiterate that just because you've had a chemical pregnancy doesn't mean that you won't be able to have a baby in the future. I want to stress this because when you're going through it, it sometimes feels like, that's it, I'm never going to have a baby. Like, it really can be so disappointing, but that's not the case. Chemical pregnancies, like I said, it's something built in. Our bodies just do what it's supposed to do. I think it's called natural selection, where it just picks the life that's going to make it. That's it. That has the best odds of making it. Also want to say, it doesn't matter if it's an early loss, such as chemical pregnancy, or later loss, which I've had both at this point. I've had early losses and I've had later in trimester losses. Or even some people, God forbid, they carry their babies up until birth and lose their babies. It doesn't matter what kind of loss that you had. A loss is a loss, and you deserve to grieve however it is that you think that you need to grieve. Like I said, I've actually been through a second trimester loss not too long ago. And this month, since I'm doing a video a day, I will be sharing about my loss that I've had at 14 weeks. I'm so nervous because this happened back in June of 2022, and we're now in March of 2023, and I'm just now getting to the point where I'm able to speak about it and also learn from it and stuff, without like being so sad or being so weepy about it. It was a second trimester loss, and yeah, it still pains me, of course, but I want to talk about it. I want to share my story so that others can feel that they're not alone. So I will be sharing that later on. So definitely keep up with my videos so you can catch that once I do share it later on in the month. In closing, I just want to say that if you are trying to conceive or you're part of that community, of the TTC community, and my heart goes out to you, and I really want to wish you baby dust and wish you good luck. Keep trying, don't give up, just keep trying, and one day you will be holding your rainbow baby. One day you will be holding your baby. So just keep going, and that's my encouragement for you today. So through going through just this process of trying to conceive and having the losses, my husband and I can surely say that children are truly a miracle. Not just children, but just people in general. Just the fact that you're here, just the fact that you're alive, it's a miracle. You could have stopped developing in your mother's womb, but here you are. Children to me are the most special. When I look at them, I see joy, chosen to be here. And I look at my children like even more like, wow, like you're here, you're special, you're meant to be on this earth and meant to carry out this role as your mom. You're here at this moment. We have to really understand how special each and every one of our lives are. So that's what I've realized through going through this process. This journey definitely has opened my eyes to how precious life truly is. Life is truly special, and we should not forsake it at all. We've come to the end of the video, and I just want to tell you guys thank you so much for just watching my videos, supporting me on especially March Madness, where I'm posting a video a day. I am trying to get to 500 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers and beyond. And I thank you guys for watching my video, liking my video, and definitely leave a comment, like, and subscribe to the video if you've enjoyed this video. There's a lot more content coming out. I post content about life, beauty, and business. So thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.